Four NBA playoff series are done in the first round, but we have four more to go. In fact, we have the first of four game sixes going tonight on Thursday. The first two, the next two go tomorrow night on Friday. Going to break down both of the Thursday night games for you here in this video. Pacers, Bucks, also looking at 76ers and Knicks. Who are going to win these games? Do the series end, or do we get game sevens this weekend? I'll let you know my opinion. I'll also let you know the best way to play these games and make some money along with some additional player props. I'm also going to give you the most public side and total in both games for tonight on Thursday. All that coming up free for you in just a moment. Hi, this is Steve Merril back here on WagerTalk TV, part of WagerTalk.com. And if you're enjoying these videos, give me a thumbs up, a like, and comment below. I read all the comments. I reply back. In fact, some of you mentioned yesterday on Wednesday, what's the public consensus? And I forgot to mention that yesterday. Public was on the Heat and the Mavericks, so they went 1-1 on Wednesday night. They're on the over in both games as well. Tonight on Thursday, we do have a public dog and also a public favorite. I'll get to those for you in a moment. Also let you know which way the public's leaning on the over-unders. Also some player props as we've been doing. Just want to let you know that we had a rare losing night, of course, on Tuesday, and it was only the third time in 10 days since the NBA playoffs began, or 11 days rather, that we had lost. Well, we bounced back strong last night on Wednesday, going a perfect 2-0 with baseball and basketball. Actually, a daytime baseball winner, nighttime winner on the Mavericks, an easy 30-point blowout winner for my NBA best bet. We are now 17-7 since the NBA playoffs began in baseball and basketball best bets over the past 12 days. 9 of those 12 days we have swept the board. So once again, it's so important to play consistently each and every day. Don't pick and choose. Get a direct subscription and win big. Check out my best bets for tonight. I do have best bets in both games in the NBA for Thursday right now. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. All right, let's look at your first game now. It goes a bit early at 6:30 Eastern, and that's because both of the games tonight are East Coast teams. We have Indiana at home, and of course we have Philadelphia at home. They didn't want to bump Philly to the 10 or 10:30 game, so they're making that the 9 o'clock Eastern, which means Indiana's starting a little bit earlier than normal, so don't miss this tip-off, 6:30 Eastern. Of course, Indiana Pacers started at 5:30 Eastern last Friday. You know, I've been joking that the Magic Cleveland Cavaliers is the redheaded stepchild series. And by the way, have some viewers that were very angry by that. Don't know if they're kidding or not. I find it humorous personally. But one person said they would never watch again because I insulted all the redheaded people out there. Well, first of all 3 of my nephews are albino redheads. So I love some redheads. I got them in the family. So not disrespecting, but we're having some fun here in the video. But this Pacers-Bucks series has kind of been the second one they've swept under the rug. As I mentioned, they got the early 5:30 Eastern start time last Friday. Now they're getting a 6:30 Eastern start time on TNT. But let's take a deep dive here. First of all, Milwaukee Bucks, ding, 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 public dog, red flag alert. The Bucks are a public dog in this game, and it's not a surprise. We see the line currently 8 across the board. It opened as high as 9. It's been bet down a bit, and after seeing what Milwaukee did in Game 5, it's very understandable why the public is jumping on board, as the Bucks were dominant, held the Pacers to their lowest point total, I believe, this entire season, just 92 points, and it was an impressive 23-point win at home in a do-or-die situation. Keep in mind, though, Indiana led by 8 after the first quarter. They actually had a 10-point lead in the first half, and they got just outscored big time. In fact, the Bucks were up by 27, outscored them by 37 the rest of the way at one point, en route to that eventual 115-92 23-point win. So once again, Indiana did blow a 10-point lead in the first half, and I do think they're the better team in this series. So it's understandable that the public is on the Bucks, and it is a big number, but they are really shorthanded here. Chris Middleton's still not 100%. He's been playing extremely well. Lillard is doubtful. I don't think he'll be back. He's missed the last two games rather. And then the Greek Giannis is out until May with the calf injury. He is not going to be back this series. You got to figure after that huge win for Milwaukee, after a terrible offensive shown by Indiana, this does look like a good bounce back spot here in Game 6 tonight. Now keep in mind the Pacers did win 3 straight before this. And I know one of them was, of course, by 17 on the road, coming off the only other loss in this series. So they did bounce back well in Game 2. And they also won by 13 points in Game 4. And don't forget that 3-point overtime win in Game 3 at home, a little misleading because Indiana had a 19-point lead in that game. They blew a 19-point lead in regulation, only won by 3. So the Pacers have dominated this series other than Games 1 and 5. And I think it's a good bounce-back spot for them. So if you're looking to fade the public, the Bucks are a public dog here on Thursday night. Once again, early start time at 6:30 Eastern. As far as the total goes, tricky totals here with all the injuries. We did see 218 points easily going over the total there in Game 5 the other night. That's because I'm looking at the Knicks score. The Knicks actually had the 118 points. Looking at the Bucks game, that one, of course, we talked about here in the video, and I did think there was some value with the over. It actually stayed under as it was 115.92, but that was because Indiana was held to their lowest point total of the season. Otherwise, that game easily gets over the 217, in my opinion. Milwaukee did shoot 52%, 38% from three. Pacers only 31.5%. So I think an Indiana team total over might be the best way to attack the total in this one, as I do expect Milwaukee to regress offensively. So the game total itself is a bit tricky. I look for better offense from Indiana, weaker offense, though, from Milwaukee. As far as the player props, let's dig into this one, see if we can find some value here for this pivotal Game 6 in Indiana. First thing, one guy I was looking to fade here, I want to talk about him for a moment, is Portis. He was ejected early in Game 4, and I forgot to mention him in the video the other night because I did think he would have a nice bounce back. When guys get ejected like that, there's always a buy sign on them, and Portis came out swinging. He took 24 shot attempts, led the Pacers with 24 shots, and tied the Bucks, and tied Middleton for the high on the Bucks with 29 points. But that was a real outside-the-box performance. Yes, he only had 4. He got ejected early. I know that in game number 4. But still, if you look back, going all the way back to mid-April in the regular season, over his previous 6 games before, he'd had 17 or less every game. He did break out for 29. I know they're short-handed, so that is an advantage of him. But the odds makers have adjusted the total up to 22 now. And once again, he has scored 17 or less in 6 of his last 7 games. So if you're looking for somebody to regress after an outlier performance, I do think Portis probably is somebody that checks that box there. So look for Bobby Portis. Props under 21 points would be my recommendation in Game 6. Siakam for Indiana, very mediocre game, just 12 points. He was only 1 for 4 from three-point range, but of course he had some monster games earlier in this series. In fact, he had 36 and 37 in Games 1 and 2, but he has now gone under 3 straight with 17 or less. His point total is around 22.5. It's actually the lowest it's been in this series since Game 1 when he had 36. So Siakam might have a little bit of upside potential after 3 straight unders in this series. By the way, Halliburton looks healthy. He was on the injury report for Game 5. He is not listed on the report here for Game 6. He had 16 points, but he was very important all around. Obviously a huge assist guy. Only had 6 assists in that Indiana game. I would expect him to have a lot more assists as he led the league this year, and he's a great facilitator. So if Siakam does have a better game as I expect, Halliburton's going to probably play a role in some assists there. So his assist props maybe is worth a look as well. You could also get a point and assist prop over 27.5 for Halliburton. Once again, that game goes early, 6:30 Eastern on TNT. All right, I'm going to look at your late game here in a moment. Philly and New York at 9 o'clock Eastern. Just a quick reminder, if you want my official best bets for tonight on Thursday, I do have best bets in both NBA games for my clients. You can get the rest of the NBA playoffs. It normally was $195 last week. Now it's $165. But with promo code playoffs, you get it for just $135. I'm not giving that promo code out on the website. It's in these videos only as a special thank you for all those that watch each and every day. I know many of you have gotten on board. You cashed last night with the Mavericks. If you want to cash with both best bets tonight on Thursday, then get on board now. Use promo code PLAYOFFS. When you get the rest of my NBA season, you get an automatic $30 additional discount. Gets it down to just $135 for the rest of the season. That's the rest of the first round, both the conference semifinals, the conference finals, and the NBA finals for just $135 when you use promo code PLAYOFFS. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. It's on the right-hand side. Just click the basketball drop-down. You'll see the rest of the NBA season. $135 when you use promo code PLAYOFFS at checkout. Also have a couple other specials I want to tell you about. We do have a buy 7 days, get 4 more days free. So it's a buy 7, get 11 for just $99. That works out to just $9 a day. 11 days for $99. Works out to just $9 a day. No promo code is needed. It's on my main page. It's below my 2 best bets, my daily free play. You will see the buy 7, get 11 days for just $99. No promo code needed. That is all sports, both football, not quite, baseball and basketball. Baseball and basketball for the next 11 days and nights. And yes, we have cashed 9 of the 12 days since the NBA playoffs begun. And those 9 days, we swept the board going 17-0. Once again, 9 out of the last 12 days since the playoffs begun, we have won in baseball and basketball. In fact, all 9 days were sweeps, going 17-0 combined. Somebody in the comments said they'd only gotten on 2 losing days, which means they missed the 10 out of 11 winning days. Why pick and choose? Get consistent. Get a direct subscription. If you want just NBA, get the rest of the playoffs. Use promo code PLAYOFFS for $135. Or if you want baseball and basketball, get the buy 7, get 11 for just $99. No promo code needed. Or if you do want football, a little foreshadowing there a moment ago, the 365-day all-access promo code is back this week. SM365 gets you over $800 off instantly on a 1-year all-access. That gets every football, baseball, basketball, college, and pro, all 5 major sports that I handicap for the next 365 days and nights for just over $3 a day. On the right-hand side, you'll see all sports. Select the 1-year package. At checkout, use promo code SM365, and you get over an $800 discount. So if you're ready to take that step and be a big-time consistent winner for the next year, SM365 gets you down to just $3 a day. Full details, all those promo codes, everything listed on my website that I just mentioned, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. All right, let's look at your late-night game at 9 o'clock Eastern on TNT. Sixers and Knicks. Wow, what a crazy, wild series this has been. You know, the Knicks scored, I believe, 8 points in the final 28 seconds of Game 2. Philly really could have been up 2 games to none. Instead, they were down 0-2. We had a strong best bet on them in Game 3, as I did think they would bounce back, which they did at home. And we've kind of taken a wait-and-see approach since, just due to all the uncertainty with Embiid, his health. I mentioned in my video, though, free for everyone the other day, that I did think Philly plus the points was the preferred side. And they, of course, got it done in comeback fashion. They were down 6 with less than half a minute to go from their season ending. And Tyrese Maxey just took over back-to-back threes. In fact, he had 7 points, a 4-point play, fouled on the 3. Josh Hart only hits 1 out of 2 free throws. That was the difference. Allowed Maxey to go down and hit the tying 3 to force overtime. And, of course, Philly pulled it out. 2 ways to look at it now. Do the Knicks come in flat, or do the Knicks come in motivated? I actually think the Knicks come in motivated here. They know they've been the better team probably overall in the recent games, and it does look like Embiid is starting to fade here. He had that 50-point game a couple back, but as you saw in the Game 5, even with overtime, he only had 19 points. Now, he did have a triple-double, so he played extremely well still. 16 rebounds, 10 assists, but he played almost 48 minutes. He looks like he's wearing down, and that's why Tyrese Maxey had to play 52 minutes and score 46 points. Talk about some manpower. I've said this all year for a couple years now. I think that Brunson is the most underrated superstar. Jalen Brunson for the Knicks, the most underrated superstar in the NBA. I've always said that I thought Randall was overrated. They're better without him. Well, it's showing that that is the case, as Brunson had another 40-point game, 15 for 32, 4 for 11. He was only 4 for 11 from 3, so there's still upside. Definitely not looking to fade Brunson anytime soon, although there's probably not much value anymore with his overs. I mentioned that I thought Anunoby would have a big game. He had 17 points. He looked pretty good out there. Josh Hart, 18 points, but he missed that critical first free throw down the stretch. He, by the way, was just 1 for 6 from three-point range and still had 18 points. So if you're looking for someone to bounce back, I think it will be Hart. Keep in mind, he was extremely strong in games 1, 2, and 3 with 22, 21, and 20 points, going over his total every time. And then he had just a 4-point game in Game 4. He did get to 18, though, in Game 5, so he's had 18 or more in 4 of these 5 games. His point total is only 14.5. I think Hart is still worth a look at the over, as he's been a player that Philly has had trouble stopping so far in this series. As far as the public sentiment goes, they are leaning towards the Sixers. Once again, public is on Philadelphia in this game, and they're also on the over. I might have forgotten to mention that in the Milwaukee game, but public is leaning towards the over in both games here on Thursday as well. Some other player props I would take a look at in this one. On the Philly side, I'd be careful with Embiid. I do think he's starting to wear down. Obviously, Tyrese Maxey after the 46 points, they're jacking his total higher and higher. It was 25.5 last game. Now it's 27. But once again, he's going to have to do a lot of the heavy lifting if Embiid is hobbled. Other guys, Ubi Jr., Obrey had 0 for 3 from three-point range in it with 14 points. Not really keen on him. Kyle Lowry is an interesting guy. He was scoreless, played only 27 minutes even with the overtime. And this is a guy that's now had 9 or less single digits in each of his last 3 games after a big game one in which he had 18. Lowry's point total, though, is at 7.5. He's had 7 or more in every playoff game since that last one, so maybe he does bounce back here with a little bit of a better effort. The only thing that concerns me is that he didn't play a lot of minutes. It looks like they're starting to wean him out a bit of the lineup. If you're looking at the box score here for Philly, even though he's a playoff veteran, Batum, he had 33, 8 points, though. He might have a better game as well. Pretty much that's all I saw in that Philly box score. It's just a lot of uncertainty with Embiid's health, yet the public are back, and once again, the public likes the Sixers and the over in this game at 9 o'clock Eastern on TNT. All right, those are your first 2 Game 6s. We got 2 more tomorrow on Friday, so check back. I will be back tomorrow with another video for you for the 2 Friday games. Of course, that is Cleveland at Orlando and the Clippers at Dallas. We'll see how those close out. By the way, series odds right now, both Dallas and Indiana are about 7 to 8 to 1 favorites to win the series with the 3-2 lead. Meanwhile, Cleveland and New York, less than 4 to 1, only about 3.5 to 1. So those are the 2 in which the team down 3-2. At least the odds makers and the betting public are saying Philly and Orlando have a better chance than the Clippers do or the Bucks. And I would probably agree with that. Hey, let me know your thoughts on these games. I read all the comments. I reply back. Comment below. I know I've been challenging you all. We get several hundred comments per day, but I do read them all, and I try to comment back to all of them. That's what takes a little bit of time. But hey, I'm challenging you. Make me keep doing it. Let's see how many comments we can get for this video. Let me know if you're finding it useful. If you do, I'll keep doing them. I've done every game, every day for the playoffs, and I will continue to do it whether I'm traveling or not. You're going to get my videos each and every day for the next month plus, if you're finding them useful. So comment and let me know if you want to keep seeing them, and also any other content you want. I'm trying to cover player props. We're looking at the sides, the totals, team totals. I don't always have a player and opinion in every game, but I'm trying to give you my thought process, the handicapping process, so you can also, I know many of you are doing your own handicapping. Hopefully I'm pointing some things out that maybe get you on or off a side or total or helps point you in the right direction. It's been a great playoff so far. Once again, since the playoffs began, 12 days in, 17-7 all sports, including 9 out of 12 winning days and nights, 17-0 sweep on those 9 winning days and nights. So once again, it's so important that you don't pick or choose. A couple of you told me in the comments that you were on for just 2 days and they're the 2 days I lost, and you missed 10 out of the 11 days in which we won. That's just bad timing, but it's also a bad decision. Just play consistent. Play each every day. Every play is like a 3 or 4% of bankroll. It's nothing crazy. We grind out a profit and we win big. In fact, I'm number 1 this year in the NBA, sides and totals combined, units won, and I'm number 1 all time in the history of WagerTalk on the NBA in profit. I love the NBA. The playoffs are my favorite time of the year, and it's proven it once again. We are cashing big, and baseball's hitting over 70% over the past week and a half since the NBA playoffs began. So yes, if you want the rest of the NBA, get it for just $135 with promo code PLAYOFFS. Or if you want all sports, baseball and basketball, try that buy 7, get 11 day special for just $9 a day. No promo code needed. Or if you're ready for the big, serious investment approach, including all my football next year, then get the full 1-year special and use promo code SM365 to get it down to just $3 a day. SM365. Get the 1-year pass and use that promo code SM365 and you get it for just $3 a day. It's over an $800 instant discount. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Check out the daily free plays. I also post a free play each and every day on my page. Check those out right now. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and X at Steve Merril, 2 R's, 1 L, at Steve Merril on Twitter and X. Also post free plays throughout the week on Instagram and IG. Follow me there along with Wager Talk. And once again, comment below. I read all the comments. I reply back. What player props do you like? What games are you looking at tonight? Which series do you think could go 7? Chime in. Let me know. I honestly believe we have the sharpest and smartest sports betting viewers right here on Wager Talk TV. Thumbs up, like is always appreciated. And if you haven't subscribed already, I know most of you have, but if you've forgotten to do it, click subscribe real quick. Become part of the 151,000 team members here at Wager Talk TV. And consider hitting the bell as well so you get instant alerts when this NBA Daily Playoff video goes up each and every day. Thanks for watching. Best of luck, and I'll talk to you again soon right here on Wager Talk TV. In the meantime, stay tuned. There's some great content, baseball and basketball preview videos coming up next.